Greetings, humanity. And welcome once more to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. I have utterly forgotten to do all of the things that lead up to this moment. So, let's see. I shall now show you a spoiler warning. And then perhaps an introduction. We'll be back in just a moment, as I slowly remember how streaming works. They saw the place where the possible met the impossible and moved toward it. They walked for many an hour and many a day, until, finally, they crossed the edge of paradox. Ha! There, you have seen the stuff. Now that the stuff has officially been seen. Hey, I'm Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he, him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, as stated and displayed, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice of life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously, which should be painfully obvious by now. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to the folks we have with us today. Today we are starting with Arras. Hello.
Hello, I'm Arras or Anos Panthera. My pronouns are she, they, and today I am playing Eroshka Rizik, aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything, and her pronouns are she, her.
Excellent, excellent. And now we shall head over to Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, but my character, Mac the Husk, uses they, them pronouns. They are a been a while established enthusiast of the Order of the Goetica who provides a vessel for spirits.
Excellent, excellent. Yes?
I was going to say, Nino and I competing to see who can be the person to remember at the last possible moment to pull up their character sheet.
Excellent. Do you have your character sheet pulled up?
Maybe.
Let's head over to Danielle. Hi.
Hi. I'm Danielle. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character, Vormera Vanas, aka Vor, who is a connected ardent of the Order of Weavers who shepherds minds.
Excellent, excellent. In our defense, it's been approximately 9 million years since the last session, so we had holidays, and then the lung demons attacked me, and they're still kind of lingering a bit. So I'm enjoying that. And so lots of those things going on. But thankfully we managed to claw together some stuff for today. So we're going to do stuff today. Hopefully we have some folks also who are continuing to have various obligations who will hopefully be back next week, and we shall see how that goes. But meantime, as a reminder, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat, let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain body horror, surreal imagery, spiders, snakes, and references to memory loss, death, and existential crises. At any time, you can type in the chat !ISCW to display that, and that will show up in chat. That's also on rotation, so that'll show up periodically. Also, I clicked the wrong thing. No! I clicked the wrong... Okay, there it is. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. So, strangely enough, the thing I clicked open is empty right now. It appears to be an empty folder. Well, that's the thing that's coming. We can't talk about that yet, though. It's a secret. But it's a delightful secret that we have happening. There is. You may also note that things look a tiny bit different on the overlay, and that's because we are using. I have finally ported things over to Roll20, and so we're actually drawing the cards in Roll20 now instead of via the Invisible Sun app, so that everyone will actually be able to see when I pull a card. That I'll be using from an actual shuffled deck. And when I say actual, I still mean digital, but but it's at least one that everyone will be able to witness as it's happening, as though it were being done by a real live human being. As though. So, let's see, where did we leave off a month ago? I actually wrote all this down. I gave a recap in the in our Discord chat so that I can go back, because I had an ulterior motive, so that I could go back and look at it when we do this. So as folks may or may not recall, in the actuality of Saturnine, in the location of Fartown, in their unincorporated neighborhood. So Shantano's friend Clellan, the proprietor of the Broken Mirror coffee house, had his essence, along with the essence of the coffee house, yanked into somewhere they figured into the blue somewhere on the night side, possibly in a spot not far from a transitional point that we'll get into more details about soon. Arashka actually went in and did a little looking around, investigating. I need to point something out, by the way, about here once again where I talk about where I messed up. I actually, for some reason, my synapses went left, and I used Weaver rules to get you to do that detection. You have not actually spent any of those five points of sorcery, because And because the information you got from it, by the way, is just the kind of thing you can get from examining a spell, and in my opinion, anyone should be able to kind of do that. If they are a Vizsla and know what they're looking for. So that's it, just sort of to examine sort of magical workings, that kind of thing. If they're kind of in tune with that. So so yes, that is the thing. Also, I went in and I found the rules for how you can change the level of a spell, and you can usually only do one level at a time when you do that. Weavers, I think, kind of can bend that rule because they sort of they can just go for an effect that is high enough level that it sets the level higher. But having reread it, I will also point out that if we wish to brute force things in the future, that means that by making a spell bigger, that does mean a bigger thing is going to happen. Just so you're aware. We've had plenty of big things happening, so I think we're good thus far. In any case, what happened? So they found clues in the husk of the coffee house that led them to check out the Celebrated Cellar, a wine pub in the Fade, outside of which they found an old clock that had been set as a sort of an access point to reach a creature called the Venacious. Basically, it was this little puzzle that had been left behind of like, okay, we need to figure out what to set the clock to let the Venacious out. A sort of a wine spirit from the night side of Blue. Now, between what the clock told Eroshka and what the Venacious told the group, the creature had been bound by its archenemy, the Vermiculated Mind, which is another night side Blue being who liked to munch on beings' essences and their souls to an extent, well, a specific part of their essence, which we'll get to. And to which there seemed to be some kind of cosmic connection with what happened to the broken mirror. There's been a lot of sort of feeling about in the universe recently in terms of trying to sort things out, figuring things out holistically, if you will. And that's kind of there's definitely a connection with the broken mirror and with what Dark-Eyed Manfred did to it. The Venacious offered to show the group the path to the Nightside Blue and the lair of the Vermiculated Mind, because they essentially freed it. It has not yet talked about how it got to where how it was penned up in the first place, but perhaps we'll get into that. We'll see. It stands before the group now, with a wine glass that it produced from itself. It's this sort of this collection of little like glass beads and bits of cloth and things that can flow around and move. It's all the color of red wine. It produced a wine goblet, and it offered it to the group. It's like if you drink, it said something to the effect of, if you drink this, then the path will become clear to you, because it knows a path to the blue from here. They are fair. I mean, they're in the Fade anyway, sort of in the northeastern part of Saturnine, and so that's where things start to break up and drift toward the blue anyway. Or is it the other way around? It's a good question. But things are drifting off. The tides, they ebb and flow between the different suns. That is where they are. Shantano, I think, then has faded into the gray once again, as this offer is made. Perhaps it's too much at once. Perhaps Shantano got distracted. We're not sure. Could be a combination of those things. But upon this offer being made, this humanoid being, made of glass beads and bits of cloth and scraps of things, standing there, holding out this goblet, Vormira will appear out of the gray as they're sort of pondering this offer that has been made. And we are up to now. Standing in front of a wine bar called the Celebrated Cellar. It's don't know if you've been there or not, but Vor, if you're of the type to hit every partying place in the city, this is one where the more reserved crowd goes typically.
Okay, that changes her reaction then, I think. Because she sees the words wine bar first, and you see like her face light up, and then she sees that it's the more reserved wine bar, and she's like, no. And then gives Mac and Aroshka a little wave. So we're drinking.
Maybe the magic wine cup. Maybe?
Maybe. Definitely.
It's definitely magic wine cup. We haven't decided yet if we want to drink it. There is other wine available, I assume, if you don't want the magic wine.
Why would I not want the magic wine?
Being sketchy.
Should I give you a few moments to discuss this with your friend?
Yes, sure.
Very well.
What a wonderful plan.
I shall retreat a bit, but I must get back into the blue soon, as I do not know what my enemy has begun. So decide quickly. I shall aid in what way I can if you choose to stay. And it'll just sort of fade into the wall behind you, or behind it.
Neat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll give you a really quick rundown of how we arrived at this situation. So anyways, we could do that. Or I guess maybe we could find a different way to go to the blue.
I mean, if we've got to go to the blue, drinking wine seems like the easiest way.
Okay.
I mean, I'm open to other suggestions, but
I mean, I'm not exactly the world's best at making great decisions. So if everybody else is agreeing, then sure, let's do that. The cat also thinks we should do it.
It's good to get the cat's perspective on this.
I guess let's go then.
then let's go.
So this being will just sort of poke its head. It doesn't have eyes or a face, but it's got a head out from the wall.
That's not creepy at all.
You all ready? You all ready?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
It will come back forth. It'll slosh forward onto the ground and then reform itself again back into a humanoid. It will reproduce the goblet. The goblet will once again fill with this, what looks like red wine, and he will hold it out.
I guess I will take a sip of it. Pretend this is wine.
Excellent.
Magic wine.
Magic wine.
Questionable magic wine.
Are you immediately passing the goblet, or are the others waiting to see what happens?
Oh, no. Mac is already putting down coasters and cocktail napkins and helping himself to some wine glasses.
I was gonna say, Vor's got the wine glasses. You don't have to worry about that. She's setting them out on the table as you lay down the coasters.
I guess, yeah, there's probably some outdoor tables out here. No, so you'll be able to pick up the goblet, and it's eternally filling. It's eternally refilling. And so you're familiar with such things. You can pour it into your glasses if you want to be able to watch it and slosh it around and do all the wine snob things ahead of time.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Smell it, listen to it slosh around.
Is there anyone else around in this cellar?
Well, you're outside. This time of day, I think it's a little early for some folks, but I mean, it's open. There are...
Oh, whoops. I don't like what you're implying, Jim.
I mean that there are people who don't drink until later in the afternoon. I don't know. I don't know.
That seems boring.
Yeah.
Clearly, they have terrible taste.
I have no idea what they're hoping to get out of that, but.
You know what? We've all been having a terrible few days, so I feel like we need some day drinking here.
Yeah, no.
Nothing wrong with day drinking. Let's go.
It's 4:00 somewhere.
I mean, we do our best work when we're
It's fair. I mean, and to be fair,
the brim with confidence.
Given given the way that Vizsla are so keyed into this whole brunch thing, I mean, plenty of them. I mean, you're a Vizsla. You're not expected to follow these rules. That
is it Vizsla or is it just us?
I've been it's hard to say, really. I've been intimating that people think it's a Vizsla thing, but who knows? That could just be because after they meet you, they think that all Vizsla are like that. I don't know.
We're just so iconic.
Trendsetters.
It's fair. Hey. I will say, it isn't just you. There are other Vizsla who seem to do brunch a fair amount, but who knows? Who knows what the motive is? So you all are going to partake of this wine, I take it?
Yes.
Yes, but Mac is going to make a spectacle of it, regardless of who's
Yeah. There are people coming and going. Yes.
Yeah.
We're still outside this bar, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not even in it.
Yeah, there are people. There are people walking in and out of it. Because I mean, there is a wait person who kind of glances out and sees that you're already doing. You brought your own, so they're like, okay.
It's not allowed at this establishment.
Well, you're still outside, so they probably don't care so much.
Okay.
I shall now draw an actual card.
Hey. Ooh, we get to watch it.
And I shall endeavor to pull it up and try to recall what it is. Okay, I'm putting it on the indigo. Wow. Okay, this is going to take a little getting used to. All right. Now I got to shift over to the app so that I can show the audience what it is. So that's going to take a second. And now I've got to find it on the... There it is. Okay. Good. All right. Clicking that. Yeah, I think that'd be faster if I right-click and moved it to a new tab so that way that works. Okay, great. We are constantly improving our process. All right. So the card that I have drawn is the Swan. Which, alas, is one of those that it takes a moment to get to. And the gate, here it is. Its meanings are good fortune, good weather, and latent talents. It is Vision's card. It is a companion card also, so I'll need to check on that. Elegant and serene, the Swan is the companion card of the Visions family. It is a harbinger of luck, and in particular, it is said to bring calm, favorable weather with it, wherever it goes. But as many someones have said, we make our own luck. In this case, the Swan represents that as well. In the midst of a challenge, someone displays a talent, an affinity, or even a magical ability that they didn't know they had. When this happens, it is sometimes called a Swan event. In divination, this is a card suggesting good fortune. The winds of fate blow favorably for the person in question and the path that lies before them. Rarely, however, it is deeper than that. The Swan and its resultant Swan events can suggest that one might have a talent that has so far been unrecognized, even by the person in question. That talent is the key to moving forward and succeeding at some upcoming challenge. But how does one discover such a thing? All right. I'm hoping this is going to be auspicious for calm weather in real life as well, because a couple of us are in some storm paths right now. We're hoping that the electricity holds for everyone tonight. You'll probably know immediately if it doesn't. So let's see. Yeah, so companion card. Duplicates previously played card, which we know is the Enticing Jewel as far as its effects go. So let's see, the Enticing Jewel. Was an Invisible Sun card, but that really... so the sun is still invisible at this point, but it didn't really offer any additional bonuses or anything per se. It's also a Visions card, so right now those associated with Vision Hearts, those are the ones currently benefiting from it. Which is Eroshka right now, basically. So plus ones for you. All right. So you as you drink, it's actually it has a calming effect, this wine. It tastes like red wine. But it also you get this feeling after a moment as the warmth spreads down your body of this slight excitement as per untapped potential of reality and the things around you. You look around and it's like every brick in the wall ahead of you has something about it that is unlockable. Every stone in the path beneath you, every thread in the tablecloth under which you are currently drinking. There's this interesting sort of almost like a granular thing you're starting to see, where it's a little like the way... everything looks the same. But also, in a way, you perceive it in the way that you perceive the Venacious. As it's like a person made up of a lot of little bits, right? That can move and flow. And as you all see this and you get this mild buzz from this wine. And you see it steps onto the street, onto the sidewalk. And you see the sidewalk beneath it turns this sort of dark reddish purple. And curves around and starts flowing, and then with slight little billows like liquid moving forward. And it turns and it nods as it sees that you all see it, and it gestures for you to follow.
Well, that wouldn't be the worst thing that we've done.
Nope.
This seems like a really excellent life decision we're making right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
This group is known for excellent life decisions.
That's right.
All we ever make.
So, as you make your turn into the street, as you trod upon this wine path, following this composite being as it continues trudging forward in a humanoid shape, splashing forward. You can see stretching out beyond the large island on which this particular the large island in this peninsula, this island on which you're standing that drifts into the abstraction, which you see this sort of darkness that the islands up ahead drift into, slowly breaking up and moving away. You see that in the noontime indigo of the sun, as it comes down onto you, you see these motes of dust drifting around in it. You move forward, and everything the dust motes get cloudier and cloudier, as does the world around you as you continue on this path, until everything starts to fade behind these sort of billowing clouds that turn a dark blue. As you step forward, you get to the point that you can't really see the path in front of you, as this sort of blue mist surrounds you. And I will say that, given that we have drawn the swan, Mac, you're going to notice something as you are entering the blue. It's subtle, but something about the way you were trained by the folks from the Cathedral of Illuminism to note shifts of this kind. Something about it sort of makes you sort of think for a second. And you'll find that there's an additional tiny little octave. You can't quite pin it down just yet. Maybe it's because you're not fully into the blue. But it's like your pin, that your symbol of the church just kind of went where it's like it's turned on just a little bit, to the point that you can sense something through it. There are no spirits trying to flag you down right now to act as a vessel for them, but it's like it's the connection that you use to activate it and deactivate it is heightened here in some way. Possibly because the Cathedral of Illuminism, the main one, is in the blue. So you feel there's a connection there, that it's pinging somehow. But as you all move forward, let me pull up something here. A proper description here of a thing. Yes. So You will find yourselves as the mist starts to clear. It resolves into this sort of hazy, gauzy, dark blue chamber. It's kind of like in a Roman villa, almost looking thing. You've got pillars. You have pillars and banners and cloth draped everywhere. A lot of it blue, some of it wine-colored. As you're stepping in here, this chamber has a number of exits, but there are, around the chamber, more on the other half of it from where you're standing. You're entering, you're in the entrance here. You see people. Of all kinds, sort of hanging out. There's a lot of them are sort of lying down, but most of them are lying down with each other. They all appear to be in, shall we say, rather blissful. They're either lying on fainting couches, pillows, chairs, sitting, lounging, eating fruit. Some of them are getting very friendly with each other. And, yes, I see that, I see that Twitch has asked me if I wanted to allow a word in, and that is a good word for this. An orgy appears to be taking place. You hear light music playing on some kind of a lyre, or possibly there's a lyre and a guitar. People are playing from somewhere in this room, but you can't see them. At the middle of this, in the center of this, is a figure. Draped across a large couch, sort of leaning on it, leaning back on this big couch, overstuffed couch. This individual appears male, with sort of wearing this kind of banded. Is it a leather? Is it a metal? It's hard to say, but it's blue armor. Looking kind of sort of like Centurion's armor a little bit. Sort of leaning against a pillow. Eating a plum. As the leaves in the hair.
Laurel leaves?
What is this called? What is that called again?
A wreath of laurels?
Laurels, yes, thank you. A wreath of laurels. In one's hair. I have found a link. It delights me. And I think this individual is actually fairly well known. If you are someone who studies the suns and the actuality and the suns' relationships to each other and the paths between the suns. Does anyone here study those things out of curiosity?
That is not Vor's shtick at all.
I feel like maybe I did at one point. I don't know if I remember it.
Yeah, magical lore of some kind might help with this.
I might actually know that.
I feel like the one in the party.
Lore.
Oh, you do have magical lore. Okay, yeah. I know the one that's most likely to probably know this off the bat would be Shantanu, who unfortunately is not with us tonight. What I will say is for Aroshka, you think there's a version of you that read about this guy. You're pretty sure. You're pretty sure this is the this is the guardian of the blue sun, of the night side of the blue sun, specifically. The night side gate. The night side. Someone in the back of your head whispers, Master of the night side arch, Nimragul, King of Langur. Langur?
Thanks, slightly evil version of me in the back of my head.
Yes. Yeah, she probably says it a little bit disgusted because she's, I feel as though she was very, very driven and focused.
What was his name again? Nimragul?
Nimragul. Let me write it here for you so that you will see.
Excellent.
Nimragul. Nimragul.
Like a Nazgul with extra steps.
Nimragul. Yeah, it could be, yeah. An underachieving Nazgul. So, lying there on the
Lord
couch.
of the Rings would have been very different.
He's the guardian of dreams and nightmares. You remember these facts? Barely. It's like it takes a second. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you just sort of look up as you're entering. You do not see the Venacious. But this is natural because this is the first time I think any of you have ventured into the night side of blue. You're going through the gate.
If there is liquor and snacks at this fancy party,
there is so much liquor and snacks here. There's a ridiculous amount of that here.
Vor is in her element. She immediately goes and starts making friends.
It's so yeah, he's gonna glance over as you're in, and then he looks at Mac and Daroshka. You just sort of nod, and he just sort of gestures to the orgy behind him, like, you can't join in.
Does he seem to recognize any of us?
That's an excellent question. He does not.
And yes, depending on which, it would be very interesting.
Please answer that question because the answer could be really interesting.
He does not appear to recognize any of you, but that could be just down to how he is. If someone would like him to recognize them, then I will draw a card. But I will leave that up to you folks if you would like me to do that.
Why not?
Okay. It would be fun.
When have cards ever steered us wrong?
I know, right? Whenever. Actually, let me go ahead and... I didn't open permissions. I will open permissions because I think this will be fun. Or chaotic.
Are those not the same thing?
Yes, well, maybe. Anino, if you would like to draw the card, you may do so.
Ooh.
Oh, how would I do that?
So you reach over to the card deck in Roll20, and I think you can click Draw, or you can pull it off of the top, and put it on the table there. Or yeah, it's in your hand, so you can look at it first if you like, and then you can just sort of pull it out from your hand onto the table, and we can drag it down. And eventually, once you've had a chance to look at it, we can drag it down into the gray sun spot. Ah, yes. Okay.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Let me find
Here,
that.
let me actually zoom out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. One problem is there's a lot of zooming we have to do to make this work. But we go ahead and pull this up.
Interesting.
Let's see. What card have we drawn? What card have we drawn?
This is really appropriate, actually.
Ah. So this is card number 6, the Unknowable Truth. Let me go ahead and display that. So, it's a secrets card. Its meanings are truth searching and futility. The raven stands watch over the unknown as we strive for understanding. The closer we get to the truth, the farther away it becomes. We know this to be true, but only after we've made the journey. The truth we learn is that we cannot actually know the truth. At the very heart of the secrets family, the unknowable truth is the ultimate secret, the secret that cannot be, by its very nature, learned. But still we try anyway. It is futile, or futile, depending on which side of the room you're standing, and yet it is productive. Even when you climb an infinite mountain, you're still moving forward. In divination, when the unknowable truth card is revealed, it affirms and advocates for a conclusion. However, it indicates futility regarding a plan. Otherwise, it means that the answer requires more searching, perhaps searching elsewhere. So, one of you went looking for something that either Nimragul wanted or Nimragul asked you to look for. Who do we think it was?
I think when it comes to searching for things, it was probably Mac.
All right. Well then. Oh my god. Well, this will be interesting. As I'm suddenly realizing some things. So Nimragul will sort of lean back as and just sort of narrowing his eyes, looking over at where Mac is. And sort of be like, don't I know you from somewhere?
Possibly. I mean, I've been told I have one of those faces.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I think... Didn't I ask you to find my pet a while ago? It was you, but not you. You were someone else at the time. Well, different. This was a time before now. Some time ago. You've been through Shadow. All has reset. You don't happen to recall if you found my pet, did you?
Depends. What was your pet again?
A raven.
Oh. No, I can't say I found a raven. Spirit or otherwise.
Alright. Well, that's a pity. Well, if you've not found them. It's been so long. I suppose it doesn't matter too much. Would you all like to join us?
I generally try to ease myself into orgies. Like to familiarize myself with surroundings and the vibe before, and hop in.
Yeah.
Vor, on the other hand, well...
Oh, yes, seems to be where... Vor, you are, just sort of immediately... What? There are a number of activities going on right now.
Yeah.
Among them, drinking and eating in games and more intimate activities. Is there a particular activity that you have decided to join in on?
I think on a normal day, Vor would have gone for something kind of scandalous, but she did just have that really deeply soul-scorching conversation with Mitterrand. So she's probably not in the mood for that. So I think probably what has happened is first she went and got some food, and then she got something to drink, and then she collected a group of people, and you basically turned your back on her for 2 minutes, and you turn back around, and she's organized a game of poker and is sitting on the floor on a bunch of pillows with a bunch of strangers playing cards.
That tracks. Yeah, you actually saw someone here you recognized. As it turns out, it's that guy in the tuxedo with the obscured shadowed face and that weird pin. That played against you in the alley.
Oh my God, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Sort of sitting in a chair. There's he's actually sitting up above things a little bit, but he's in a chair and he can still participate. But we'll just sort of when you come over to play, he's gonna play one round, and then he'll sort of be like, I know better than to play against you. But
Vor will give him sort of a scandalous wink, haha, don't tell them.
It was enough to get an introduction to these folks anyway.
Starts taking people for orbs.
There are some of them are people, some of them are dream creatures, you think, maybe? And he will sort of stand up and sort of be drifting kind of toward Aroshka and Mac a little bit, but is waiting at a respectful distance until you finish your business. But anyway,
The business of lying to the person in charge of this party.
Does Aroshka join the orgy, or does Aroshka stay put?
No, Aroshka probably awkwardly hovering.
You don't remember ever really doing terribly well at things that got quite like this. Even your old self knew how to impress people at parties, but this, everyone's kind of making their own fun, so it's less of a... I imagine it's less her scene, too. But...
Yeah. I'm mostly good at being intimidating, I feel, or was.
Yeah.
Now I'm just awkward.
Yeah. Like, if someone could give you a bunch of wine glasses to stack, that's one thing. So Nimragul will kind of be...
These days, I would probably bring the wine glasses to life.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. So Mac and Eroshka turn him down, and he's like, well, if you don't want to join in and you haven't got my raven, then I suppose... how should we let you in? I've got it. It says, and you see a little spark of blue coming from his eyes. Your worst nightmares. That'll do. For passage.
Oh, is that all?
Yes. Just describe your worst nightmare and you can go on through.
Do it out loud in front of everybody.
Well, it's no fun if you don't do it out loud.
I feel like Eroshka's worst nightmare is either really horrifying or extremely boring. There's no in between.
Also, like, you don't know if he can read your minds, but he hasn't seemed to indicate that he can. So it's, yeah.
I could just say some shit.
If you want to lie, you could lie, potentially. Maybe.
Out of curiosity, is Vor close enough to hear that we're being asked for our worst nightmares, or is she off in her own little world here? Like,
I think you did. I mean, so there are a couple of factors right now, right? So, like, this is potentially the kind of party one might go to right after a breakup. But at the same time,
yes,
it's not like you just broke up with him, but then again, those feelings just returned. So It's hard to say. You might be detached enough that you can tell that he's asking them to do something, and you're getting the gist that it's like, but you're trying to focus on this game, and you saw, and the shadow face guy was here, but so I imagine you'd be able to tell that there's an exchange of some kind going on between Nimragul and your companions.
In that case,
probably involving getting through.
Y'all are probably gonna have to retreat from her. just gonna throw this out there because she's preoccupied. A good party is gonna be a hard thing to drag her away from at this point in time.
We're trying to get into the party because you got in by just saying you wanted to go, but we were like, yeah, I don't really want to involve myself in this. So in order to let us in, we have to.
Well, to get through the other side of the chamber, really, sort of where he gestured to an exit.
Like to go out into.
You can join the party if you like. It just getting into the blue is another matter.
Oh, I mean, that was a pretty easy question. He's just going to reach into one of his pockets and pull a picture of dark-eyed Manfred, and he's just going to say, "Here you go." Pretty straightforward.
I mean, it's fair. It happened quite recently. He just sort of squints. Oh, God, him again.
That guy.
Shocking, right?
Yeah. Coming up more frequently in people's nightmares. Don't understand why he keeps coming and going here, but that's his business, I suppose. Very good. You just sort of look over at Eroshka.
Eroshka's making a face of some variety, like thinking real hard about what to say. I feel like we're gonna go for some it might not actually be Roshka's worst nightmare, but it is honest. And so if he can sort of like get a feel for if he's being lied to or not, it's not exactly a lie. And I think that Roshka's just gonna look him straight in the eye and be like, I destroyed the entire world once, and I sort of am afraid I'm doing it again.
Blinks for a moment. Well, just don't suppose anyone ever called you an underachiever.
No, definitely not a thing anybody has ever called me ever. Although I'm given to understand people have called me many other things.
Just sort of picks up a glass, a wine glass, and sips from it. Have you destroyed the world before?
How? This is a great question.
No, have you destroyed the world before?
Have I destroyed the world before? Yes.
Huh. Very elite club.
It really is.
The club of people who destroyed the world before. I'm not really sure I'm enjoying being in it. I tend to go places and people go, oh my god, it's you, and I go, yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you are indeed in that club, seem to be the most humble of its members I've ever encountered.
Oh, you've encountered other ones?
Yeah.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Yes. Ah, he says, pointing to Mac. Now, yes, I remember a little bit. One of the other members of that club, in fact. He's pointing to Mac. You came in with her last time, long ago. How is she doing? She was very entertaining.
Talking about Vor over there? She just gestures.
Oh, no, she hasn't destroyed the world, I don't think so. Well, not yet, anyway. It depends on... anyway. It sort of looks...
More stack of chips steadily growing.
No, it's the young lady you were in here with, before. This again was before. Well, again, you and not you. I think that actually you might have had the same nightmare at the time. I'm not sure. Possibly? Maybe. He came up. I don't know. It's been a while. Well, I suppose not cosmically speaking. Well, the two of you are certainly cleared to go, and You sure you don't want a drink or anything? Says, gesturing to this cart with like half a dozen different bottles on it.
No, we had a drink before we came, actually. Yeah.
Oh yes, I sensed I sensed that fellow coming through. Yeah. Oh, you'll no doubt be reunited with them forthwith.
Oh.
Unless you wish to stay, of course, but that's entirely up to you. Your friend seems to want to. She seems to be having a decent time.
She had a bad day. She deserves it.
Slowly nods. You see, the two of you will see this fellow, the sort of the shadowy face, standing kind of close to you, looking, just sort of has been watching and looking back and forth, apparently, and just sort of leans toward Aroshka. and sort of whispers, "You may wish to get your cousin out of here. This place has a tendency to be on something of a downward slope the longer you stay here."
Oh. Okay. Sure. I'm just gonna like sidle over and be like, "Hey."
I have no idea how he knew that it was your cousin, but anyway.
It's not like secret information that we're related.
It's fair.
I don't know who this dude is. Maybe he's a friend of yours.
Who knows?
I don't know. I've never met him before.
Yeah, when you sidle over, Vor's somehow has managed to rope people and they're playing Texas Hold'em, and she's clearly cheating. From your perspective, at least. Like, she's changing the cards.
I'll be like, "You're doing great, cuz. But also, we did sort of come here with the intention of rescuing Shantano's friend, even though Shantano's not here. Should still probably do that. Sooner rather than later, maybe?"
Fine. All right. Sorry, everyone. I'm assuming everyone is reacting.
Oh,
Taking the card game away. Yeah, exactly.
Crowded.
No, I gotta take.
Crowd says that.
Gotta take the cards back. She like retrieves all of her cards and like puts them in a pocket somewhere, and takes the last of her snacks.
Steal some on your way out.
Yeah, like goes back to the buffet and like fills another plate.
Yeah, the buffet is quite good.
It's
it's a little heavy, but it's quite good, and it's sort of that stuff that it's like, oh, I just want to keep eating this. I just want to keep
you never eat
doing this and
never
hanging
eat the
out.
food at the fairy party, except unless you're bored and you don't care.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
She'll fill a tray of food and then come back to Aroshka and be like, "All right, I'm ready to go."
All right. I guess we're gonna ask what's his face. Like, does she have to pay? Or is she good?
We'll need her answer if she wants to. If she wants to go with you.
Answer to what? What?
In order to leave, we had to tell him what our worst nightmare is.
You see his eyes spark blue again.
Or in a very self-destructive mood, holds her hand out to, what was his name? Nimragul?
Not Nimragul.
Nimragul. I'm gonna get it. Nimragul. Holds a hand out to Nimragul and says, "I can do you one better."
Oh, delightful. He will immediately take your hand.
Yeah, and she's gonna use let's see here. It's gonna be mostly just doing this for the fun of it. Understanding from challenge. I think hardness from diamond, and probably either illumination or passion from fire to actually bring him into her worst nightmare.
Okay. So you're projecting in the mental image, yes?
Yeah, like projecting the image around him. And the nightmare itself is this is the memory that Vor got from Shah's viewer when we were back in the observatory. I think it was around that time, at least. And this was the memory of her like paralyzed, being held in a box in a building and not being able to move or do anything, and then getting seeing Mr. Child and Karen for the first time, because she's been dwelling on this a lot.
Yes, I forgot about that memory.
Yeah,
because there are things jumbled up about it, and you've actually had two different versions of your correction. What did we call it? Your
Rectification.
Rectification. You have two different memories of Mr. Child catching up with you. In fact, one takes place near Limerence Street.
Mm-hmm.
The other takes place somewhere in the city of Satyrine, by this large, big, boxy, government-looking building. Not even government-looking, but big sort of pillared, elaborate building.
Yeah.
And the one by the big pillared, elaborate building is the one that Karen appears in.
Yeah, and I think that's the one that scares Vor more, like, because she was paralyzed. She was not able to move or do anything. And that's very antithetical to who she is.
So, there's a thing that I'm going to need to do now.
You draw a card.
We're going to need to draw a card because of who it is that you are making this mental contact with.
Fun, let's do it. How badly can Vor self-destruct?
Would you like to draw the card and place it on the pale sun?
Absolutely, I would.
All right.
Oh, perfect. The next step on the sun is the pale sun.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, I forgot we're on Indigo right now. In fact, it was an Indigo card. In fact, that we drew, was it not? It was.
What
it was.
have
Actually,
we got
we were on
here?
gray.
Oh,
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
That's appropriately spooky.
I haven't been putting the suns up like I should. I have not been doing my due diligence. But I will go ahead and I shall do that now. So that is the Indigo Sun, and now I'm actually going to look at the card that you've just drawn. You're now seeing the cards before I do. Ah, okay. All right. So we'll be switching over in a moment to that one. All right. Let me pull that up here in the thingy. Ah! No, they're seeing the secrets. Hang on. Let me find that one. There it is. No, Jim, don't click on it. You have to right click and do the thing. There it is. Okay, it's the Endless Woods. We have found ourselves gazing upon the card that is the Endless Woods.
Listen,
See, to explain something briefly about these beings, these guardians of the different suns. They say in the rules that they do not have stats because of how incredibly awesomely powerful they are. They are beyond a 17, essentially, which is the highest anything can be, typically. These are as close to gods as anything you're going to find. Even closer to being gods than beings who call themselves gods, even in this reality, in the actuality, or wherever. So the Endless Woods. Mysteries card. Its meanings are sound, nature, mysteries, the dark side of the forces of life. The woods and the wilderness are untamed and unsafe. Travel through them is perilous. We hear things all around us that we cannot see. Trees and undergrowth conceal dangers and perhaps wonders. The Endless Woods is the location card of the Mysteries family, and rightly so, for it is the very home to the unknown and perhaps the unknowable. In divination, nature plays a role in what's about to happen. That can be a good or bad depending on the context. For one about to embark on a journey, this is likely a dire card turn. For someone staying put, the Endless Woods can be protective and even nurturing. The card can also suggest that something is happening that one doesn't yet know about. A mystery just at the edge of hearing, like the whisper of a voice or the rustle of the undergrowth. Okay. And the interesting thing here is Nimragul is staying put, you are moving. This is also a green card. Green magic is up, pale magic is down now. Let us reset the sun to the appropriate shade. And, yes. So you show Nimragul this vision. After he very eagerly took your hand.
Yeah.
Showing this place, this vision, specifically the one in front of the ornate building. After the being in a confined space, that one, do we think? Or is it before? Or was it both? It's hard to know.
I thought they were related.
They might have been.
I thought she was...
Yes, you were paralyzed. She was holding you paralyzed. That was her spell.
Yeah.
So, and the two of you, when this happens, you see that the two of you, by which I mean Arushka and Mac, can see Nimragul's eyes glow with this bright blue. It's electric, almost. And little pinpoints. And as he looks upon the vision and drinks in these nightmares. What was the title that we said he was before? The Guardian of Dreams and Nightmares. Yes.
Yeah.
You're standing in a space at the end of the vision, as sort of things are frozen for a moment, with Mr. Child's hand on your shoulder. And Nimragul sort of is stepping around and looking around here. For a moment, looks at the retreating figure of... He just sort of reaches his hand forward and things reverse in the vision. And you see Karen again, looking different, dressed differently. And squints, and he's like, huh, interesting.
That was interesting.
That one. A servant of very ambitious forces, that one.
Oh.
I should ask. You have... You know, it's fascinating. You've reshaped yourself to handle these paradoxes. You've reshaped your mind to handle paradoxes.
Oh.
I suspected as much, but... And I thought I was joking when I said you might, you haven't destroyed the world yet, but... you might yet get there, should you desire to.
Seems to be a family business.
Tell me. Do you want any of that fixed?
What do you mean? What? Fixed what?
Well, and you see the mists are starting to drift in across your vision. And his eyes, in your vision, his eyes are glowing blue a little bit. He says, well, you've set yourself up to either, it seems to, just from what I can see, shut out pain, but then also to cause yourself a great deal of difficulty and possible injury in a way. Do you wish to find your way out of that? Or do you want to continue spiraling inward? I'm just curious. And you can see these mists, these blue mists are coming through. And you can make him out still. But it's now, everything is, your sense of direction is kind of a little off right now in this vision. You're not quite sure what's where.
If I said I wanted your help, what would it cost me?
Well, you know, there's really... I have, you know, it's really, to tell you the truth, I have simple needs. I have most of what I need here. But, depends on how much help you want, to be honest. The more help you want, the greater the price.
And what exactly are you offering then? To rewire my brain?
I could do that. Probably wouldn't necessarily be the best to do such a thing and to do it quickly. I could help you reorder your dreams. That would be the simplest thing. But, dreams, and for that I'd seek a small boon. If you want something more direct help, I could, more like something that would require me to act. Then the price there would be much greater.
Let's say I did want you to reorder my dreams. Does that... I think at this point, like, Boar knows, because there's a huge gap in her memory, and we're sort of in her headspace right now. So, like, she would turn and look at some of the dark spots, basically, and say, does that fill some of these in?
It might. But I warn you, you could get lost among them. It's not necessarily completely safe, even though it would be simple.
And what's the price?
Well, the price, again, for simply assisting you in reordering. I am not going to change them myself. You will do that. I will merely help point things out. For that, you know, the one thing that really will, it really does put rather a damper on things when one is having a party, is when the world ends. I'd rather not go through that again. Means I have to act, and if I have to act, that makes me very upset indeed.
So it's free as long as I don't destroy the world.
Well, let's just say it's a type of assurance. I would require that you promise that you're not going to destroy the world.
Ooh.
A simple thing one might expect.
I have a feeling that Boar's gonna regret this decision later. Yeah, Boar will promise that. But she does it in the most surly possible way, because she's not in a good headspace. So she's just like, fine.
He nods, smiles slightly. Very well. All right. I shall set some things in motion, and it will not be instantaneous, you understand. There shall be, a visitation, perhaps. It'll seem like a visitation. Perhaps from me, it won't be me. It'll be your memory of this, of me. And we'll sort it out. A little together. Yes?
I can handle that. Yeah.
Very well. So, What Arushka and Mac are going to see for a moment. So first, this only takes a split second, really. It takes a very small amount of time. Not a split second, a few seconds. They feel like long seconds because of what's happening. As I said, you saw Nimragul's eyes glow. And then you see Vor's eyes glow in the same way. As this flash of light seems to pass for a moment between them. As they're holding hands. And then they snap out of it. And you can see that he just sort of leans back. Exhilarating. We must do that again sometime. And he's like, and couple of folks in togas will come out, and they will provide a. They come out with a sort of a basin with some towels and. Another one comes out with like another jug of wine. And they start. They come in. One of them comes in and mops his brow, and just sort of that. One of them will sort of feebly be like, if you want a wet towel, they will hand you a wet towel if you would like one.
Were they like the warm towels?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The heated like ones? Oh, yeah.
Sauna,
Vor will
sauna.
absolutely. Yeah, Vor will absolutely take a heated towel.
Yeah. It's blue.
Of course, it's blue. Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. All right, you're all clear to go. They just sort of stretch and they'll put the towel over his over his head. One of them will start massaging his temples.
Yep, I'm good. You guys ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a weird thing that just happened, but sure.
It's nothing.
I don't know, the whole selling nightmares thing is weird. Anyways, yeah. Let's go, I guess.
As you are stepping through, the shadow figure just sort of taps his. He was wearing a top hat, sort of tips his top hat to the three of you, and steps out of the exit you just came in. And the two of you go to the back. The three of you go to the back of the room. And as you step out between these arches, you will find yourselves on another path. Now, you find swirling about you, you're entering the night side of blue. Distance is weird, first of all. A lot of sort of this swirling blue stuff, right? As you're not terribly far from the nights, from the deep dream essence that's down here. You see these clouds sort of on either side of this path. Beyond there are trees. You're outside again. There's a path which looks ruddy and wine-colored in front of you. Things drifting on either side of the trees. This blue mist coming through. With different things drifting back and forth and back and forth. Random objects. Parts of objects that seem to be half disintegrating, half coming together, some of them maybe. Thoughts, stray thoughts. Misremembered dreams. Couple of things happen. As you're looking forward, and you think you can just see the Venetius ahead of you on the path. The first thing that happens, as you step out and through the arches, Sagan reappears on your shoulder, just sort of pops in, and he's like, "Oh, thank goodness." I was really worried for a second there, boss. I thought I thought the game was up.
What game?
Oh, you remember I told you I worked for other people before?
No, but I'll take your word for it.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the people I worked for before. It was let's just say it's TD mind numbing. It's that all they cared about. They didn't care about actually. I had to look up such mundane crap working for. I much prefer the arrangement now, basically, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate it.
Just sort of nods. He's like,
Was it really that bad? Because I gotta say, this party puts the endless one to shame, you know.
Can I hear this? I'm gonna get mad on Isabel's behalf.
I mean, it's out loud, hey. I would presume, but I don't know if Sagan is visible to you folks right now or not.
I just heard
kind of up to Mac.
I just heard Mac say that.
Yeah, but Mac probably you heard say that, I'm guessing. Mac, can they see and hear what's going on here right now?
Yeah, Mac doesn't have his filter on right now. So.
Okay. So yeah, you heard that.
I don't know what you're discussing or who you're discussing it with, but I just heard you make the comment about that party is better than the endless party. I'm like, hey,
and
that's my girlfriend.
Sagan will say we'll say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mac is just going to mention. Okay, so to be fair, you did cast your the endless party into the void of space.
That was an accident. Didn't do it on purpose.
And we did re-anchor it.
We
All's
did
well that ends
re-anchor it.
well.
No, we did re-anchor it, but I'm just saying.
It's not in the void anymore, so it's fine.
Sagan will just sort of mutter, "Yeah, it seems nice, but never seen him angry. Never seen what he does to people when he's displeased with them."
How can you get angry at an orgy? That's...
Oh, there are ways. You try to cheat him in a game. You try to. If he likes you a lot and you try to leave the orgy, mistake.
Oh, it's a good thing none of us will ever have that problem here. He says completely deadpan, and you can tell that he's sort of glancing or giving Vord the side eye, but
Well, my advice,
completely straight face about it.
You want my advice? If you ever encounter that guy again, and I sincerely hope you don't, because now you've gotten through. You don't have to go through that gate anymore. But you never do anything that might tie you in any way to him, because that's only going to end in tragedy.
Boar's looking real shifty, I think, at this point. She's like, yeah, good thing he didn't like me.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't ever make any promises to him, because that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Why is that rough? Why is that such a bad thing? Sagan?
Oh, he's got something over you then. That's if that happens. You don't want it, believe me. That's a relationship that never goes away. You saw he had people in. That's the thing. It's kind of that way. I mean, you know what he was like. It's kind of like his sort of inevitable sloth and entropy. The way that what he represents, he's sort of a living embodiment of that. You know that? How anyone can, your mind, you relax a bit and you can slide right into it. Not good.
Yeah, I know that.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I, for one, as Mac puts his shoulders around the two of them, I, for one, am glad that we don't have any sort of commitments or bonds that tie us down in any fashion. Ooh, I can't imagine the kinds of responsibilities that we would have to fulfill in our cases.
Uh-huh. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Free as the wind.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
We had to, escape to the gray for a while, but coming back and just all this endless freedom.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I feel like we have in fact committed to many responsibilities in the time we've been back, but okay.
Tell you something now, because you're my best friend and you're my cousin, and thankfully the other two aren't here at the moment. And not that I don't care for them, but I don't know that I would necessarily want them knowing this, but it's probably best if somebody knows this. And she looks over her shoulder at like if there's still like a door back to where we were.
It's drifted. No, actually, it's drifted behind this blue mist that's at the end of that path.
I did make a promise.
No, why would you do such a thing?
Oh shit!
I thought we agreed we would be
appreciated, Mac.
I'm not being sarcastic. I just, I thought we all agreed that we would endeavor to not tie ourselves down anymore. We've got a void demon on the loose. There's,
You
the
thought I
fact
was
that
going to
I'm
destroy the
serving
world.
as a landlord for the Jenga tower. We're on the homeowners association board with Karen.
Unfortunately.
Mac. He thought, I have two things. He thought I was going to destroy the world. And I don't particularly want that to be a family business. And he offered something that might help me be able to get my memories back.
Oh.
And I couldn't say the ask was not too high for that. So I have given him, well, he said it's not truly a continuing presence in my head. It's temporary to help me unscramble things up here. And I feel like at least someone in our little gang ought to know in the event that I start behaving erratically. Cool. Glad we've sorted that. And Thor just walks away.
Well, I'm sure this will not hurt us at all, he says, as a side.
And to Eroshka is many different ways. Mentally, Aroshka is planning different ways to potentially murder God. I was like, yeah.
That's what family's for. Murder a god whenever they do something to your cousin.
I mean, I'm sure you could do it. You just have to figure out how.
Destroy the world.
I mean, I just think it's funny that between the two of us, he thought you were the greater risk than me.
I mean, technically, you're reformed. Vor's not. Vor's actually is sort of going down to a dark place. Things are not getting better for her.
It's a very bad, no good party.
There's a thing I feel like I need to seize on to be, because there's a bit of thing. I don't know how evil I really need to be right now, but I'm feeling this urge, this minor urge to mention one more thing here.
Oh boy.
I think that, and this isn't a big deal, probably not a big deal at all.
Sure.
Little thing in the back of your, little thing in the back of your head, it's kind of like, if you very, very slowly are working on a Rubik's Cube.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of that kind of thing. Where Nimragul, the memory of Nimragul, it's not him. Right?
Yeah, right.
So he's not directly doing this. But he's sort of helping you with something. He's sort of, you're playing back the conversation you just had with Mac. And he mentions, like, we said we wouldn't get tied down to anything. And you're remembering a pre-war thing where that was mentioned. And there was a thing where you were like, well, Mac, you're eating your words now, aren't you? As Nimragul just sort of draws this little figure, just sort of points into this dark area that becomes slightly lighter as you sort of focus on it, as you're looking and you're focusing on it. Do you want that piece of information to become brighter? I'm giving you a choice.
She does, yeah.
Mac used to have a girlfriend.
Oh. Okay.
Details about her are not coming to you. This was something that you think, yeah, we talked about not getting tied down, and then he got involved with this person. You think might also have been fun at parties, possibly? It's hard to remember.
Okay.
A lot of the memories aren't there about you can't see the face, you can't remember what this person looks like yet.
Okay.
But you remember her name.
All right.
And her name is Ratika.
Ratika.
I believe. Hold on. Wait, no, that's not right. Hold on. It's not Ratika. I apologize. I have been confusing characters. There is someone named Ratika, by the way, whom you did not know very well. But that's someone else. That's someone who knew those people. I apologize because I just grabbed for a name and the wrong name came to me. Wait, let me grab the right name real quick to make absolutely sure that I can do this appropriately. Which thing? I will get it. Starts with a V, doesn't it? Yeah, the name starts with a V. By any chance, Mac, do you have that name written down?
I do not.
Oh, crap. I did. Yeah, Ratika told you the name. But,
Did she?
yeah. Viara. That was the name.
Viara.
Yes. Viara. Viara.
Okay.
That's
So
why
I just remember.
my brain jumped to Ratika because she was the one who told Mac about it. Viara.
So I remember Viara, the name, and that Mac had a girlfriend, but like not the face or like really much else about her at all.
Correct.
Okay.
You don't think it was for terribly long, but probably, but you're not sure.
All right. That's not like the biggest revelation in the world.
No, it's probably fine.
So I think so. Like Vor turns and like takes a couple of steps, and then the two of you can see her like stop in the path, and she just kind of like tilts her head a little bit, and then she goes, "Well, it's working."
Is that a good thing?
So far.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I remember anything particularly heinous. It's mundane things at the moment.
Well, I mean, I hope you don't remember anything heinous. Not that I don't think it happened.
Yeah, I think that at some point we need to sort of just, leave all that heinous behavior behind us, if there is any.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to repeat anything I did in the past, but I'd at least like to know what exactly was going on. And I'm going to find out. I just have to wait it out at this point.
So do you have to like meditate or sleep on it?
Nope. There's a little piece of Nimragul in there twisting the gears. Just gonna take some time. But we're here to rescue Sean and his friend, right? So
Yeah.
I feel as though Sagan at this point, if he were capable of carrying a flask of whiskey, would be drinking from it, but he is not. So he does
just
not.
say, "Don't do the thing," and Vor's like, "Already did it."
Sorry.
Warnings come after.
Mac is going to helpfully pull out his flask and pour a little bit of the something into the cap and just hold it up for Sagan to drink from.
Thanks.
Little drinky bird thing.
Yeah.
Birds do that cute thing where they like scoop a little into their beak and go.
Yes, that's what he does. He goes like... So, you can catch up to the to your guide if you so desire. Whilst you are here, I will say, if you wish, you may catch up to the Venetius. But whilst you're here, also, I will say, Mac, now that you're beyond the gate, you feel you feel that sort of this little ping, this thing again from your pin, and you're like, yes, okay. The Cathedral of Illuminism is on the day side of blue, but you kind of know what direction it's in at this point. So that's, who knows if that'll be useful or not, but it's kind of sort of acting a little bit as a compass, a little bit. If you wish it to. But in any case, as you folks are getting deeper in once again to this part of the night side of blue, sort of see this deep dark blue clouds outside of these trees. You catch up to the Venetius, and you find yourselves. You find there's a point where he takes a path to the left. The path splits. He goes left. We shall be upon them soon. You can see there in the distance the settlement, and you will look and you will see that. Looking as you do, you are going to be coming to a clearing, and in that clearing, you will see it looks like these a number of sort of shacks that have been set up, as it looks like basically the clearing. It's heading into what looks like maybe it's an old fairground of some kind. Because there's like a very rusted kind of Ferris wheel in the distance beyond them. From what you can make out here. And a few things like old booths or what have you, but then there are like ramshackle kind of wood and tin little structures that have been built around them, some. Maybe some kind of settlement, you're not sure. You think people moving. And the Venacious will say to you, when we reach the vermiculated mind in their lair, if your friend is there, then I shall be able to distract the mind, whilst you do what you can to unravel what was done to him. I shall be occupied entirely with this, and we shall do battle. I do not know how long this shall take, how long it shall last. We have been locked in torment for some time. If you wish me to guide you back out, you may wish to help me. Otherwise, if you wish, you may just get your friend to safety and you shall have to find your own path out. But alas, I can only be in one place at a time.
I mean, there's 3 of us. I feel like we could split up.
Yeah.
So,
How much help do you think you need?
What kind of help would be most useful?
I can hold them. Let me look at something really quickly. Yes. I can help hold it in place. Prevent it from fleeing if need be. It is a mind, quite literally. It will try to capture anyone that gets near it.
I'm pretty good with mind stuff.
I'll be wary. Temptation shall be there, but it can reorient your senses. It can assault your mind directly. It can reach out its tendrils to grab you.
What do y'all think?
I feel like if you're confident about your mind powers, maybe you should help the Venacious, and we can go look for I knew what Shantano's friend's name was like 5 seconds ago, and I forgot.
Challen?
Yeah.
Challen,
I was trying. I was Clellan. I was trying to say it, and so it flew my brain. Yeah.
All right. Mac, any thoughts? Do you have any friends that might be helpful?
I think summoning to the blue is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. And he's just going to leaf through his book to see what sorts of names of blue spirits that be available.
Well, you have met some blue spirits. Strangely,
Evilise is a blue spirit.
Yeah, I think possible. Well, either blue or green. I'm not as sure about that one. It's an ice cat. But one thing I will say, let me just look at my list of spirits. that you met some nightmare spirits at the fair, at the World's Fair. And I will say, the closer you draw to this area, you begin to see what look like tents, like carnival tents. And you realize that this place looks a lot like the place where they inhabited, right, in the World's Fair. There was a big clown, whom you also subsequently saw in the magician's tent at the night circus. They're also, let's see. There was someone that was standing there with the clown. I think their head was removed and somewhere else. I'm trying to remember. But was there sort of hawking the fight. Wrestle the clown. And then you met a veiled lady nightmare spirit named Petra. Who basically you hung out while she had her coffee break and you chatted for a bit. I think you talked about the possibility of calling on her at some point later, and she was like, "Yeah, whatever, sure." And so they'd be in your book. If nothing else. Evilise might have been a blue spirit. I don't have it completely noted, but at the same time, these are... odd. Let's see. All I've got is ice jaguar / snow leopard.
I mean, that sounds kind of blue.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, color of ice. Those seem to be the. Those seem to be blue spirits. The twists of the labyrinth are probably also blue spirits, or blue related. It's hard to say if those are blue or indigo spirits, but the twists of the labyrinth that you met in the Home of the Forgotten. One of which still wants to. There's one named Flourish in particular, who the labyrinth spirit, who you made a deal with you a while back, and is going to eventually want to peek into somebody's head. They have yet to manifest and ask for it, but that's something also. But that's a blue spirit that you know also, or okay. At least blue aspected, if not directly blue.
All right. Well, I can certainly do my best to summon a few spirits to serve as distractions while you do your thing.
Should be helpful.
Feels like we've got a solid plan going.
It's unusual
It's very
for
unusual
us.
for us.
Very unusual for us. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Stereo.
Yeah. What the heck?
I mean, as you know, all of our plans, when we do plan, just...
And they always go really well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
That's right.
They're the best.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to look too far back. Just Yestervale, for instance.
We blew up the end.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
anyways,
Yeah.
shall we?
Are you going to proceed on into the little sort of village that's ahead of you, or are you going to stay here and do something else first?
But by the way, when all of this is done, do you mind if I take a quick detour to check in on a little club that I belong to?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac, I'm always down to go to the club.
Are we invited to this club, or are we just
Can we go to the club?
waiting outside?
This club will welcomes everyone into the fold.
Oh.
Hey.
People frequently don't welcome me?
Yes, well, that's okay. You're with me.
Cool.
Okay.
Then, yeah, let's do it. Let's
do
just
it.
make sure we get we're following the Venacious. Just make sure we don't leave the Venacious behind, so we have a route back to Saturnine after we've done everything we need to do in the blue.
Oh yeah, we have to invite Venacious to the club too. I'm sure he's great at parties.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
Hey.
wine
Well, like there are ways out of the blue, even if you don't have someone leading you. But it is helpful if you have a guide.
It's easier, yeah.
Much easier.
Yeah, I like easier.
Yeah.
The Venacious seems cool. I was a little wary about this, making a deal with this random wine spirit, but I feel like that was actually a really good decision we made.
Yeah.
I feel like
Venacious-
having a wine spirit as a friend is just a good friend to have in the stable,
Probably. Yeah. The Venacious also will be more useful helping you around. Is much more useful helping you around on the night side. If you go up to the day, well, who knows what'll happen if you want to go up to the day side, where that cathedral is. But the the Venacious is yeah. What was I going to say? I got distracted.
Something about
that's all right.
Venacious and the day side.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing, is that the night side, it's harder to know where anything is because of all the mist. The day side is a little clearer, not that much clearer, but probably easier to navigate the day side. I have a map of the day side. I don't have a map of the night side. I'll just put it that way. But in any case, you will proceed into this village. I'm going to go ahead and draw one more card here. We are actually, I think we're actually reaching a point where we could bookmark it shortly, if you folks are good with that. It's sort of up to you if you want to try to power through and fight the big brain or not. But
Big brain fight.
We could save that for next time. Which I'm sort of leaning toward that, but for a couple of reasons. But let me go ahead and pull a card so we can talk about this village a little bit that you are entering. Let's see. So down to the red sun we go. On our little map of things. All right. Interesting. Okay. So that is a companion card. What I have drawn. Let me find it amongst our things. There we go.
Seems like a bit of a theme this time.
A bit, yeah, a bit. This is card number 11. This is card number 11. Let me find it in our index here. There we go. So this is the Raven. It is a companion card, so no direct sun, but actually, I think companion cards copy the last card in terms of what benefits they provide. So, the Raven. As we may recall, I think we've had this not too terribly long ago, but it's been a month, so... let me find it here. So its meanings are jealousy, sight, and trickery. It's a secrets card. Companion to the secrets family, the Raven sees everything and tells nothing. The Raven is smarter and wiser than it ever lets on. Its intelligence, however, manifests in its crafty solution to problems. Some might use the word cheating, in fact. The Raven's weakness is greed and jealousy. It wants what you have, and that probably means your secrets. Can you keep them from its watchful eyes? Is it even worth trying? In divination, the Raven has both positive and negative connotations. Most commonly, it indicates that someone is watching, jealous, usually someone unexpected. It's also a warning to beware of greed and trickery. On the positive side, however, it advises vigilance or suggests that there's a trick involved in what one must do to succeed. Either means that there's a problem that can be overcome. Well then. You have entered this little village. You see that most of the figures sort of dart back and forth upon your entering. Furtively, you see people and some people with different strange features, these nightmare creatures. Thought forms in a way, not exactly thought forms, but sort of forms of imagination, dreams. Moving back and forth, these people. You will see here some of them look kind of have sort of the carny look about them, and some of them have look like other things. There are there's a family of possums that very very quietly just sort of slither down the tree that they're on and run into a tent when you come through. There are a couple of snake people here that just sort of wave and then but still try to steer clear of you. Everyone else very furtively is sort of darting back and forth away as you're entering, as though they're expecting you for whatever reason. You put it back on the Raven because that's the card we were on. There we go. You will see these people, and you see an individual with, it's very strange, it appears to be made out of metal, and their head is one of those shovels with the extra piece that folds down behind the shovel. You know what I'm talking about? Folding shovels. It's like there are two parts to the head. One is the lower part's the shovel, and the other part's the something else, perhaps with eyes on it. It's hard to tell. Sitting in front of what looks like a kind of a path that leads into this weird kind of swirling arch, sitting amongst some trees. But the Venatius is not headed that way. The Venatius is continuing, just sort of looking around cautiously. Be careful. Something's amiss. You see before you, it's leading you toward these larger buildings. They look old and broken down at this on this old fairground carnival type site. It looks like there are more permanent buildings ahead, but they do look old and ramshackle, kind of very much open air. There's sort of these buildings of brick that have looks like there was some sort of brick and wood, like a tavern, like a sort of an abandoned stable. And then further ahead you see what looks like in the sort of the center of this place, there's an amphitheater that you see very distantly. It sort of is taller than anything else. This sort of more permanently built, looks like brick and cement. Back half of it rising up shell-like. You see the shell more than anything else of the amphitheater. But you folks gonna know a stage when you see one. And striding out into the path before you reach the clearing area where the amphitheater is that very large clown whom you met twice before now. Mac has met twice before now, at least. The rest of you maybe only once before, depending on whether you made it to the magician's tent or not. Steps into the path, crossing its arms, and sees you heading forward. This clown, like about 7 or 8 feet tall, big, imposing being, sort of sighs and says, "So, can I ask your folks' business here?" Says, crossing their arms.
Friend of ours is missing and maybe got here accidentally. We just wanted to take him back.
Well, wherever you're headed, you're gonna have to go around. The amphitheater's off limits.
Why?
Well, the mind has instructed that no one may pass. And, that fella says something, you gotta take him seriously. Also, he pays well. Sort of cracks his knuckles.
I'm just gonna like... Oh, no, keep going.
Bares his teeth. And you see the teeth are kind of yellowed. Said, sort of glances over. Says, sees Mac again, nods and says, "Oh, I got nothing against you folks personally. But, you try to get by here, you're gonna be in pieces." And I feel as though this may be where we're about to draw to a close. Unless anyone wants to get in anything really quickly here.
I have an idea for how to overcome this obstacle next time, but it can wait until next week.
I just I just want to say it's not like an action I'm taking. I just want to kind of smile at the clown and say, we're really bad at following directions.
That's the line to end on right there.
Are we good? Are we good to...
I think, yeah. I don't think there's a line that can top that.
All right. Okay. Well then, we have come to the end of once again of another session. I'm so glad we got to play tonight, because I have been missing it. I have been going crazier and crazier, going through Invisible Sun lore and connecting things up, because now I have all of the different pieces of the directed campaign chapters, and I actually can now plan stuff, which is nice. So there's a lot, and so many things to connect up. There are so many NPCs. So many. At this point. But we must do joy and despair. So let us go around and see if we have gotten any joy or despair today. We shall go in the beginning to end order once again. So we are starting with Arras, Arras, do we think that Eroshka has gotten any joy or any despair today?
I feel like possibly despair because I feel that Eroshka has either privately or out loud admitted many uncomfortable truths today.
Understandable.
/ made the decision possibly to become enemies with the god.
Maybe. He did notice when you glared at him.
He's on thin ice, that guy.
Yeah. Yep. Gonna have some serious problems, things to contend with.
I feel like there might have been a little whiplash from, like, nice Eroshka to just, like, the world's iciest glare before walking out the door.
What I find very interesting is just that the more you get into these situations where the pressure starts to come down, the more past Eroshka offers you, just of her various strengths, and the more you seem to draw them in and take them. And it's fascinating to watch because I'm not doing anything. We know this. We all saw it. This is all purely Arras doing this, and this delights me to no end. But all right, so despair for you. And Anino, do we think that Mac got any joy or any despair today?
I want to say that Mac got a joy because finally his nightmare actually became useful for once.
Yes. No, that's great. Absolutely. And apparently Manfred gets around. Also more information from your past is coming to light. The Nimragul realized. Very cool. And Sagan's past too, strangely enough. I wasn't expecting that. But now we will head over to Danielle. Danielle, do we think Vor got any joy or despair today?
Joy. No, I'm just kidding. For the third session in a row, I think this is despair for Vor.
Okay.
This is she's not on a good turn at the moment.
Yeah. We need to get you some joy soon. So we can for the next session, since you have like 3 of these in a row. Also Mac has like 3 joys in a row now. So we can manufacture for next session joy or despair.
I mean, that's okay.
Depending on what you need.
I'm not complaining about it. I think it's been interesting because I think historically it has been fairly easy for Vor to take a sort of shallow joy in things. And I think the last several sessions have been like a darker but more real turn for her.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining about it, but it's definitely a despair again tonight. Depending on what happens with her memories coming back, that may spark us a joy somewhere and going forward. But tonight's definitely a despair.
Also, congratulations on letting a God of Languor into your head. It's everyone
There's
needs one
so
of those.
much stuff rattling around in Vor's head these days between the weird changes she made to her own brain and then the sliver of whatever the heck it was that got into her head when she released the foreman, and now this piece of Nimragul that's also in her head. It's just a party up in there. She's had some cowboys up in there.
I'm just laughing at the implication that next time our goal is for Vor to have a really good day and Mac to have a really bad day.
Yeah, I feel Mac would feel kind of bad. Would try to at least take a bullet for Vor.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. It is for sure true that like this is collectively the most serious you've seen her since coming back. We all collectively came back from Shadow. She's normally very upbeat and cheerful and not super depressed, and she's not having a good day.
No. Well, I guess we'll see how things go. Oh, by the way, did I show you the just to add to the despair, because I'm suddenly remembering, did you happen to see the note that they found last session where you weren't there?
No,
you need to. It's in the things up there in the handouts. If you click on M note,
handouts.
Yeah, M note. Yes.
Okay.
You might be interested by how that note begins. At the very least.
Where is it?
That happened when that happened when just after the essence of the broken mirror and Clellan were sucked away. That note fell from the ceiling in an envelope with a contract that they decided against rather vociferously. Mac drew a middle finger on it and had it sent back to that group.
Yeah, we'd signed something saying we weren't going to act against the Vespertine. Yeah, okay, no. I'm glad y'all very vociferously said no to that, because we're not doing that.
But you may note that Manfred took your advice when you said change the game if you're losing the game.
And see, this is extra fun because in the few memories that Vor does have, she was involved in some great game. Yep. So now every time someone says the word game, I'm like,
oh yes.
What game?
More on that coming soon. All right. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead then and go around and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you have that you want to share at this point on anything. And so we will start. We go in reverse order, and so finally, so we shall head over to Danielle.
Hi, y'all. I'm Danielle. You can find me on Twitter at @RyRacketOr. I am currently private. Still following some stuff earlier this year, but I will probably eventually not be private later this year, and you can always follow me, and if you seem chill, I will follow you back. And if you're interested in like cosplay stuff, because that's what I'm doing right now, you can also find me on Instagram, where my username is not the same, but I'll put it in the chat. And I'm con crunching for Dragon Con, so you can follow me there. And it was nice to be back. I missed this game when we don't have it. I miss the drama.
Me too. Awesome. And now we shall head over to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. The only place you can find me in the TTRPG sphere is right here. So stay tuned for more awesomeness that is Invisible Sun. Though I know I keep mentioning it, that I will probably go back to streaming on my channel soon with a number of new games that have sort of popped up and decided to get rolling on. And so, yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. And actually, we got to play, there was one night we sort of randomly played the Ninja Turtles game on your channel not too long ago. That was a lot of fun.
Yes. Hopefully, I'm thinking I'd like to do some more co-op games. Monster Hunter Rise is certainly one game that I want to work on. And I've also been trying to figure out how to set up a stream in the kitchen so I could stream some cooking, since I've been that bored.
That would be awesome, though. You would rock a cooking stream. I just need to say, anyone who has seen Anino's Twitter and the different dishes that he generates, brilliant stuff.
Oh, well, thank you.
Definitely. Definitely. So please, folks, go and check that out. Any other final thoughts you wanted to mention before we go?
Yeah, it just feels weird that Mac hasn't been tortured lately within this game, and that things are going pretty well for him, given the fact that a couple of bad turns here and there, and he could be back on the streets again. without a paying job or a roof over his head. So might end up be sleeping in like the gambling alley next to War's House of Cards or something.
I'm sure Tony has room inside his cardboard box for someone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's always perfect weather here at Centering, so.
Yeah.
Always sunny and Centering.
Yes, a delightful shade of indigo. Excellent. And now finally over to Arras.
Hello, I'm Arras. I'm Animus Panthera or Animus.Panthera, practically everywhere on the internet, but mostly Twitter. I am a real life zoologist and I like to cosplay. I'm also prepping for DragonCon right now, although I'm really bad at sharing photos. If you want to know what I'm up to, you're gonna have to poke me. Anyways, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a guest at DragonCon as a scientist, not as a cosplayer. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, I might have some exciting news in the next week or so, but you'll have to wait for that. Yeah, that's me right now. I don't have a whole lot going on in my life. Anyways, I had a lot of fun today. Just also because we haven't been playing in a while, but also I feel like maybe not fun for our characters, but fun for us. Things happened today. I'm having a great time, just in general.
I'm glad you're having a good time tormenting Aroshka.
We're tormenting everyone equally. Equal opportunity torment.
That's fair.
Equal opportunity tormentors across the board.
Everybody gets to have a bad day.
Yes, that's right. That's how you know it's fun. Because the bad days are equally distributed. Yeah.
Next time, Boar gets to have a good day.
Yes.
Decided this
has to happen.
We'll see.
We're going to aim for
optimistic.
the most positive conflict with a giant clown and a giant brain that we possibly can.
Yeah.
You know what? We can all use a good punching a giant clown.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I mean, yeah, see, the clown has been fairly neutral to you all up until this point. It's just, it's depends on the gig that he's got, really.
It asked us to follow directions. Not into that.
What you gonna do? Yeah, what you gonna do? Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to talk about who I might be. Who might I be? I might be Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. Let's see. What's happening? What's happening right now? Stuff, probably. Actually, stuff is happening, strangely enough. Right now, the only regular RPG stream on this channel is this one, Saturday nights, Invisible Sun. I have been doing a little bit of video gaming, but there's more coming. And there's actual plans with people. Which is strange, but it happens, oddly. Later this month, which I'll talk about more as we get closer to it, there's going to be a one-shot of Monster of the Week. That's going to happen. Brian's going to be running it, who's appeared on various other campaigns and run other campaigns here. And we have signups currently open for a short campaign of Cult, Divinity Lost, that will be happening. It is a very dark contemporary horror campaign, a very contemporary horror game altogether, where it's sort of you're playing ordinary people sort of waking up very slowly to the realities of that this world is really just a veil for. That this divinity has been stolen from us. We're just starting to realize a little bit who we are. And it is, like I said, a very dark game, but if anyone wishes to sign up for that, please read the content warnings on the sign-up form. But if you would like to sign up, did I put it on my website? I don't think I did, not directly. So I'm going to put a link in chat for anyone who desires to sign up for that game. And sometime within the next day or two, I will also fix it so that you can go to the website that where I normally post such things and do it from there. So that would be so in a day or two, you'll be able to click on the sign up link down below, or RPG sign up, or go to jimmyesthatjim.com and click on game sign up. And here is the direct link to that form for anyone who wishes it. They're in chat. It's a very interesting game that's going to be run by Hollow Invective, who has appeared on several other things on this channel. Most recently in our Sunken game, we tried to we got a little bit into, and then Genesis Undone was the last couple of places you would have seen him. So feel free to go and check that out and sign up if you are so inclined. But please read the whole form before you sign up. Very important. All right. Well then, when we hit the end card, I'm going to go ahead and send a raid over to somebody. Let's see, they're doing stuff over at Goodman Games has got stuff going on. Actual Play is doing a looks like a talk show of some kind. It's called Primal Quest. And there is High Shelf Collective is doing some stuff. It looks like they're doing something with a nice sort of retro video game looking theme to it. We might go there and check that out. Feel free to hang on when we transfer over and say hi to them with us. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.